Hello guys. Today we're going to talk about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This is going to be an interesting talking about this movie. So this movie came out this year, 2022. It's rated PG-13. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes long. The movie has a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb with about 122,000-ish users votes. It has 67% on Metacritic, about 299 critics. The movie is directed by Ryan Coogler, who also did the first Black Panther movie. And also a special side note: the first episode of Movie Theory Reviews was the first Black Panther film, so it's kind of interesting how things kind of tie in together a little bit. The movie is also stars Letitia Wright, who was also in the first Black Panther film, and uh, Danny Danai Guerrera. I think that's how I pronounce it. I'm not good at pronouncing names. She's also was in The Walking Dead. On Rotten Tomatoes, the movie has 84% by critics. It's certified fresh with 404 critics and 94% by audiences, about 10,000-ish audience people. The critics' consensus is a poignant tribute that satisfyingly moves the franchise forward. Black Panther kind of for remarks an ambitious and emotionally rewarding triumph for the MCU. The audience says Black Panther Wakanda Forever says a solemn goodbye to one of the MCU's most beloved stars without skimping on the action. I'm going to say this first and foremost. I like this movie. I do. I think it's actually really good. And I actually think it was a lot better than I think a lot of people would envision given what they were choosing to do. However, if it was up to me, I would have recasted Black Panther. I would have. I don't think retiring that role forever was a wise decision at all for many reasons. And I'll go through them quickly here. One, nobody for a split second would think that the actor who played Black Panther, I feel so awful. His name escapes me at the moment. Oh man. Um Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick. I don't think he would ever want the role to die with him. I don't think that's what he envisioned, and I don't think that's what he wanted. And it kind of went without saying. Everyone said that, but for some reason, MCU decided that it should retire with him. No one wanted that at all. And majority of people that I've seen or seen commented or ever didn't want that to happen. And that has its own subreddit reasons, mainly because one, the Black Panther character, that specific character, is so important in MCU in the comics, and so important in the cinematic universe because with all the main phase first arc heroes pretty much gone, it's really him and Spider-Man that's going to carry the next gen, and he's not even in the picture anymore. So it really cuts a lot out of meaning of that, and and really too, because the MCU is a long term thing. It's not like they can just recast the role, like let the character die off and bring him back in another series of movies. This is it. Like once a character's done in this world, it is done, and you're never gonna see them again. Like once Iron Man's done, he's done. And that's one of the few real negatives about this cinematic universe is that once the character's done, they're done. You're not going to see them again, for better or for worse. And that's one of the few positives that DC has over Marvel is the fact that no character's really truly done. You could get another version of Batman or Superman or Green Lantern or whoever through a different eyes or vision. So you could see more action from them if one of the runs wasn't completely satisfactory. But MCU you don't do that. So they went the other decision. However, I will say this, like what ended up with it, I think is the absolute best they could do with it. Like even it exceeded my expectations for what they were doing with it. I still wouldn't have made that choice, but I think this is the perfect response to the choice they made, the way they made this movie. So what is this movie about? Well, Black Panther, you know, T'Challa, he passes away, and from a mysterious illness. They call him mysterious illness in the film. So, and the whole country, is in mourning. They go through the process. They try to move on. Well, Namor finally making his MCU debut after eons of anticipation, and I grew up with this character. I have a collection of the first 10 issues of Fantastic Four, and Namor has his fingerprints all over in there. So I grew up with Namor. I know Namor reasonably well. And he's one of the very, very, very few MCU characters that came out before their DC counterparts. So he is a very, very vital character in the MCU. And he has done awesome in this film. They do his performance, they bring him to life really, really well in this film. Like it is really good. I'll also debut another character. Now this isn't a real secret either. That they're bringing her in. They already revealed it in media eons ago. Ironheart makes her debut in this movie as well. And pretty much what the movie's about, it's pretty much what the movie is about. It's pretty much Namor and his civilization, pretty much versus Wakanda, and Shuri kind of being forced to take lead since she's kind of the heir. So the whole movie's really about like the collision of these two civilizations and their different philosophies and how they handle being in the world they're in, and how and their different debates and stuff. Now the problem I have with this film, the only real big problem with this film, I feel like, is that 2.5 hours, I think, is a reasonable length for this film. But it's weird. This film has a reverse problem. You see, I'd rather see them take like 15 or 20 minutes of this film and use those 15 or 20 in the Doctor Strange film, because I don't think this film needed that much, but it used it well. I didn't feel like it went on too long, but I also felt like I was watching, I was just like, this is one thing. It doesn't feel like a Black Panther film, because the Black Panther, like, actual suit and all that itself isn't really used a lot in this film. This film's more just about the people of Wakanda more than anything. Pretty much the whole supporting cast without T'Challa. That's kind of what this film is. And the thing is that it's still solid. It's still good. It's just, you can't help but feel like after watching this, like, man, I just wish T'Challa was there. And it's like, man, one film of just normal Black Panther and that's it. You just can't help but feel you kind of got robbed. And maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point of the film, that's supposed to feel weird, him not being there. Because maybe that's the point they were trying to go with it. Maybe it should feel weird because we weren't ready for him to go. Maybe that's what they were going for in this film. And if they were, they did a great job of it. But if they weren't, then I think maybe they jumped the boat a little bit. Because as much as Shuri, she's a good character and the actress is solid, and I could buy her as Black Panther, but I think giving her the reins so soon could be a mistake. Because I just think her character didn't develop fast enough, and I think people were still perfectly fine with that. And that was kind of like my feeling, but then an end credit scene happens. And I'm not going to say what it is. A mid-credit scene happens. And I'm not going to say what it is, but it did warm my heart a little bit, and it did make me feel a whole lot better about this film and its direction of choice. And yeah, I'm so glad they weren't there. I won't lie. There is a part of me that kind of wishes that Black Panther T'Challa did, butt heads with Namor a little bit. I think that would have been cool to see. But the way it went down in this one, I think, went perfectly fine as well. Everything else is pretty solid in this film. I will say, though, I'm a little nervous about them debuting Ironheart because her comic run didn't go very well. She wasn't exactly a super popular character. And I think if you're going to find a new Iron Man-esque character, I don't know if she's it. I almost believe that the kid from Iron Man 3 who made a little cameo in Endgame at the end at the funeral, I think he would be much better as an Iron Man kid. And I think, because it happened so organically. And I hope they do. I don't mind. And the thing, her portrayal in the movie and everything was good. I like her as a character and stuff. I just don't think she's the main character. I could see her as one of the characters. I can see her maybe as a sidekick or an apprentice or something like that to someone who's more of a veteran or a partner of somebody that's a little bit more there. But I don't know yet if she could really do her own thing with that because it doesn't feel quite earned. Because this is kind of the world. This is the world at a point where it feels like the Iron Man armor is something that's becoming more like wide use. And I did hear rumors they're going to make like an Armor Wars movie about the whole Iron Man dilemma, about his legacy and everything, which would be awesome to see. So or it's a movie or a TV show, a miniseries. I'm not quite sure what route they're going with yet with it, but I heard they were doing something along those lines. Um, but yeah, this film, man, compared to, I just remember watching the first Black Panther film and doing a video on it, and then doing this, and it's weird. I, I don't know. I mean, it was awful when he passed. It was like he was like such a good actor, like so good. Definitely a generational talent, and it's such a shame that he passed away the way he did. And to be honest, I don't think he would agree with the recasting. I really don't. And to be honest, it just feels weird to just kind of hand it off to Shuri after just one Black Panther film of T'Challa. It just, I don't know if it's the right choice. But for the choice they made, they did great with it. And I would certainly watch this film again, and maybe I will warm up to it over time. That's another thing too about this film that I didn't catch on until later on. It's like this film is more on the solemn side. They really cut. I mean, there are jokes in this film. There's patches of humor, but it really is a little bit more on the serious side. And I do give them credit for going that route, especially with some of the criticism that Marvel's becoming too joke driven, and it's been growing for a while. And I did hear stuff that Marvel was going to start kind of toning down the release of content, maybe go to the less is more approach that they used to do. And I think that's smart because I feel like with so much out there, I feel like people just can't zero in on all that. And here's the thing too, with it all being connected and like that, like people if people weren't there from day one with MCU, it's gonna take them a minute to catch up. And I think they need to give people a chance to do that without overwhelming them with so much stuff. So yeah, I think this film is very good, and I think it's better than I expected, and I do like it. But there's always gonna be that part of me that just feels like they made the last choice of the two. Despite how good this film is, I think I'm always gonna be in a camp of they should have just recasted him. I'm always gonna be in that camp. But you know what? It is what it is, and for the choice they made a really, really, really good movie. Now, somebody may argue it's as good as the first Black Panther film, and I don't know. I mean, I think the first Black Panther might be a little bit better, but man, this one I think it's almost a different movie. It's just a different world than that first Black Panther movie was. So much changed in between the movies, so much happened in between the movies. It's just hard to like compare the two like that, to be honest. But yeah, but yeah, overall, the next film I'm gonna watch, I'm not sure what the next one in theaters I'm gonna see. I don't quite remember what's coming out soon, but odds are maybe a Marvel movie or DC. We'll have to see. But yeah, overall, this is a solid film. I definitely recommend checking it out in theaters or whatever. It has been out for a bit. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a minute to go see it. It really did. And a big reason why is because they weren't really, like, they really toned down the spoilage on the internet, because when this film came out, I barely saw anything with spoilers or anything like I used to. So it kind of made me low-key, kind of maybe wait a little bit, to go see it. But I eventually did, and I'm glad I saw it in the theaters. But but again, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing a Marvel movie that really just goes above and beyond. Because I think the last Marvel movie I saw that just really, really, really made me just feel like a splash of awesomeness was definitely that Spider-Man movie. The rest of the Marvel films and all that, they were good and they had some cool moments, but that Spider-Man film, that's gonna be tough to top for sure. But yeah, overall, this is a solid film. Definitely recommend checking it out for sure. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. In case you want to chat with anyone at the Campy Company, you don't want to use the YouTube comment section, we do have a couple options. First one is we have a Discord channel. You can find a link to that in the About page / About section of our channel. We also have a community tab in our channel as well. You can access that anywhere at any time. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.